welcome to the Special Moves podcast. My name is Mike Williams. These guys are Liam McKelvey, Jake Kulkowski.
Hey,
Hello.
gamers.
Straight to business, that wasn't it? Business-like intro.
It was.
Hey, gamers. Let's
We're a
get
day
to
late.
it.
We've got making up to do.
Yeah,
but
we
we
are
haven't
a day late.
got any making up to do because we've stayed alive, and that was all we had to do.
There was a storm. There was a storm that was quite bad.
I'm wearing this
yeah.
coat out of solidarity to the victims of the floods.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's actually.
You're not continuing the myth that my house is really cold.
Mate, I've ordered a hat, for next week's.
Have you?
No,
Scarf.
I haven't really. But
Gloves.
imagine if I did.
He's wearing Ugg boots as well.
Keep that myth alive for the audio listeners. But yeah, so there's actually been some. What's the storm called?
Kira.
Yeah, I've been pronouncing it like Sierra, like the R&B singer, because that's.
Yeah. It's because there's... Okay, so it's like Cara, but with an I in it.
Yeah.
So that throws all
Is
sorts
that
of...
Kiara?
I'm
Sierra?
with you, Jay. It's not quite as clear cut for me.
I don't know, but
because
yeah.
I read it a lot before I heard it.
The news told me Kira.
Alright, okay, right, that's
what I mean.
If
but
it's good enough for the BBC.
The fact that Liam doesn't even
I-
have to hesitate and he's just gone straight in.
Well,
makes
he's a
me think-
confident man when it comes to facts and knowledge, isn't he?
Yeah,
So,
and I'm not going to argue with him.
Yeah,
But so-
I'd read it a lot before actually hearing the
Yeah.
word,
Yeah.
So I was like, how am I didn't even think about
That
it.
is my general
it's
excuse
just that storm.
for a lot
This is
of
not
verbal
game
misdemeanors,
related. It's not game related at all. But I actually only figured out the other day how to pronounce the creator of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I'll stay on topic with you, Liam, for
I'm sorry.
fuck's sakes.
Similar thing.
How
He's
is
got
it?
a gaming TV show out.
Yeah.
That's definitely bonus podcast material.
Yeah, we'll talk about that probably.
How do you pronounce his name, Cutley?
It's McElhenney.
Oh, did you watch him? Did you watch him on like a?
I watched him on Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, there's like a YouTube video of his interview. I watched that as well. Yeah, McElhenney. I was like, yeah, I was
So I
saying.
never know how to pronounce it.
I
Before.
thought, oh,
Yeah, well, now
That's
we know,
that.
don't we?
Yeah.
Anyway, games.
yeah.
It's been a pretty quiet week, I think, for me anyway. For gaming, I played a little bit of the Division 2 for some reason.
Oh, shit.
Pop
Right.
back into that.
In terms of what games you've been playing this year.
Yeah. So I've dived straight into the Division 2 because I just sort of
saw
fancy.
that.
It was like a So I had like a Saturday morning coming up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was
Coming
free
up.
and clear, and I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
well, I need something good for that. And I used to love the Division 1 on Saturday mornings. I've sort of talked about this before.
Yeah, ritualistic.
Yeah, and I've just really bounced off the Division 2 like 3 times now.
Yeah.
But I had another go at it.
Run
and
up at it.
By God, it sort of finally clicked a little bit.
By God,
Yeah.
it was almost there. Yeah.
No, I'm into it. I like it. It's. I think what I'm missing is just that location. It's just I don't feel as interested in Washington. It just seems a little bit more generic, apocalyptic. With New York, it was like really fresh. Like it was just suddenly abandoned, which is quite a different twist on it when you think about it. It
Yeah,
wasn't.
overgrown with vines and
Whereas the Division
Wildlife roam in the streets.
Exactly. The Division 2 is a lot more like just The Last of Us or something. I've seen it a million times, but the Division 1 was a bit fresher. It was like a fresher apocalypse.
No, I know what you mean. It's one more of abandonment rather than.
Yeah, and it was weird. It was like ghostly, like walking down this like freshly abandoned New York streets.
Yeah,
It was
no,
cool.
that's totally. Yeah.
So, and I think I was missing that, and that's a big thing for me in games. Is like the world and the setting is the first thing for me, and for a lot of reasons, I think. But yeah, so I finally sort of got into the Division 2. It does seem a bit ridiculous, but it's this thing of I've mentioned it with like Uncharted and stuff before, and I don't know what it is. It's just in my head I need to have a good reason for just murdering people, right? And sometimes I don't get it. But in the Division 2, there's just merciless.
There is no
There's
need,
really
isn't
no.
there?
There's like guys with like baseball bats, and you're meant to be like the law, but you're like just blasting them.
To me, it
at
was
range.
like, when I was playing the Division 2, it was literally running down a street. They all pretty much look the same until an enemy loaded in with the draw distance.
Yeah.
That's all I needed. Shoot them once in their
Sometimes
head.
they're kicking the shit out of someone.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they've just got a dog.
That's a good reason.
Yeah.
Die.
If
Die.
they're beating someone.
Yeah. Shot for a lot of the time, I don't know who they are. Or what
No.
they want.
No.
But
It's a very
when they're in
Judge
draw
Dredd
distance, it's the
situation.
danger zone. And then they're out of there,
Yeah, so I've been enjoying it. I've been I've sort of took my character customization seriously. I've opened my loot boxes or whatever they're called, and and I've gone, oh, that's a nice T-shirt. I'll wear that.
Yeah.
So I'm into it. I'm it's clicking for me.
That's good. It's good when you accept it. You have to put yourself into susceptible mind.
Yeah.
Because like when I started the Division, I was laughing my head off at we were so used to our coffee and our Wi-Fi.
It's terrible.
So then my guy, I've made him look like a barista on a mission. I've got like a moustache and I've got some tattoos and I've got a beanie on and a vest. Yeah,
furious about the coffee.
Absolutely, yeah,
His
exactly.
livelihood gone.
I can't get any light roast Costa Rican coffee no more, so they're all dying.
That's the kind of backstory from mercilessly murdering everyone you come across that I can buy into.
It's a good bit of role
Yeah,
playing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the caffeine jitters stopping a steady trigger.
Yeah.
But,
But it's good, it's good fun, and there's some cool stuff in there that I didn't even realise that a change from the Division 1. So I was sort of struggling on a couple of the earlier missions, one of the first times I played it, and I was thinking, fuck, this is quite difficult. But then I realised it was telling me to call AI reinforcements. So the game, this is really early. So if you're in end game and all this, completely irrelevant what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this, as a complete newcomer to it. And it says call for reinforcements. I thought that was like an online co-op thing. It's not. You're going to fire a flare up and then some AI
to secure the base at the end, right?
Yeah, and when there's loads of AI and some of them have got miniguns and some of them have got purple health bars and stuff, I thought it's a bit much. But when you bring the AI in, it's suddenly a lot more interesting of a fight, because you got they're drawing fire and you can like flank them and stuff. So Division 2, who knew? That's what I've been enjoying.
It's a good game, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm getting into it. I'm going to keep playing it. Cool. Yeah, it feels good to be finally wanting to play something and wanting it to like make sense, and then finally after ages it's kind of clicked.
yeah, right,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
So that's where I am. What have you guys been playing? Jake, what have you been doing?
Well, I talking about like kind of wanting to accept something into your heart. I revisited probably my most controversial game in opinion. I think is that I don't like BioShock.
Yeah, yeah.
I said that and I mean it. I haven't played it though since it pretty much 6 months after it came out. So I was wading through hype, to get to the game and its core content. And the whole time in my head, I had like, it's amazing. So anyway, this and that. I played it, I finished it. So now I come back to it, and I'm playing like the BioShock collection because it was free on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
And
Is that the whole lot? I've claimed it.
But... Well, yeah, it's weird. It's 2 downloads. So one download is BioShock 1 and 2.
Okay.
And the other download is Infinite.
And the DLC.
And the DLC.
So okay, that's fair.
But even though it's one purchase,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm right near the end. I wanted to try and get it done today on my lunch break to say I finished it again. I haven't. I've got to the part where you've just become spoilers if you've not played it. So maybe skip forward like just literally 10 seconds. You become a big daddy and you're about to fight Fontaine. So, how much changed? Well, not really much. I appreciate it a lot more story wise, but I remember in fact for the first couple of hours it was surprising me. I was like, why did I not like this game again? And then it dawns on you when you get to the part with all the plants, and then the whole game devolves very quickly from a very tight, linear, narrative-driven experience to a lot of, you're in a giant hub area, go to the west wing and get a flask, go to the north wing and get some enzymes, go to the east wing, and then the next bit, you're in an atrium. Go to this store in the north of the map and kill this guy. Then you have to come back where the splicers have spawned. It's a lot of that. Go there, come back. Go there, come back. Go there, come back. Which is a bit like, if it's fine, if it's like Dead Space and shit, that's fine. But like the way that the game just slowly turns into that, and then like the last half of the game is just do that. There's a boss. Do that. There's a boss. Do that. It's annoying and it frustrated me. But I know the twist from the first time playing it. And this time I was being more susceptible to like the audio diary stuff.
Yeah.
I was really taking in the world, and I was really like looking outside of all the windows and seeing what I could see and stuff like that. And it was really inspiring and cool. Like I felt really drawn into the story, and I loved the Fontaine and Andrew Ryan. Like there's a lot you can read into that. I think it's really cleverly done, and I like it a lot. But the gameplay just doesn't do it for me. What is the plasmids is just up.
So the actual. So you're not talking about the fetchy, go here, do that sort of stuff.
Absolutely, but then like I don't.
In addition to that,
there's not much of a saving grace with like the gunplay because it's like you don't aim down sights on it, so you're dual wielding all the time. But I just find it quite clunky. Like, and I found like what I've been doing, which I find is like super effective, is like I keep the electro bolt on me and the wrench, and then when you stun them, you deal massive damage with the wrench. Because like I'm playing it just on regular difficulty and the ammo I'm finding is pretty scarce, and I can't be bothered like going through all the crates for money and stuff like that.
Hacking the machines to get a
I
discount.
just don't fuck off. And I got the wrench. I don't need it, so I'm just doing that. But that's that. That's a little side thing. So BioShock, I guess.
No, that's good. I think it's interesting with the fetch stuff. I think they've obviously done that to a certain extent on purpose because of the twist, right? So the twist is, go here, do that, go here, do that. So then when the game is making you do that for ages, I feel, but it does that doesn't mean if it's not fun for you, then
and then after that's happened, you have to do that more to transcend, and that does break that very cool creative decision, I think, then, because you're
okay.
I think it's part of the like System Shock heritage as well, because a lot of System Shock is just walking around an abandoned space station, fetching bits to deliver items to restore a generator and stuff like that.
And I think it comes down to, like I was saying with the Division, like the world and the setting. If you're happy to be in an abandoned space station, or if you're happy to be in a crumbled undersea dystopia, then you're probably you're going to be okay with it. But if and the same, like another example is like maybe Assassin's Creed, where if you're happy being in ancient Greece and stuff, you don't think about the fact that you're just running from A to B doing whatever. So I get what you mean, because I dislike Assassin's Creed because I'm not happy enough in ancient Egypt and that. But I am happy when I'm in a So the setting is very, very important. I think the world and the world building and listening to the audio diaries and stuff. If you get into that, if you sink into that and you're not, thinking about the gameplay, you're just thinking about I want to explore that other part. I want to.
Well, that's the thing. Like it slowed me down eventually with the fetch questy stuff, because I was into it and I was really like soaking in like the horror atmosphere. Loads of it is really
especially early on, isn't it?
Yeah, with shadows moving and skittering and enemies being like foreshadowed, and you don't have and like you see a lot of things through glass or in the distance and stuff. And I just felt like it disappoints like midway through, which is a shame. But it's like how I felt about it the first time, so I would have been really surprised if I did a 180. That isn't a game I really wanted to talk about though, because I played like a really cool indie game this week that saw it on Keymailer, and I don't know if you guys know what Keymailer is, but it's a place you can go to request keys from developers, and likewise you're offered keys and you can look. And I like the kind of barrier to entry is like really low for developers. Like you can sign up for free and put your game on there and just dish it out.
Really low.
Really low. and so because of like it being a two-way system, you get offered, no matter who you are, if you sign up to it, you'll get offered like shite games. And there's like loads of like really well-known games are put on there. Like I don't know, Temtem's on there. You can request keys for and this and that. But there's this one that caught my eye, because there's loads of this like 2D pixel art shit. Mm-hmm. There's this one that caught my eye called Stoneshard, and it was like an open world RPG with rogue-like elements, and I was like, how are they going to make that work? And it was turn-based. An open world RPG that's entirely turn-based, including movement. Okay, that seems weird. Now, I played the game, and I talked about it in the podcast a couple of like weeks ago or something, maybe a couple of months ago, called Tangle Deep. Can you remember that?
Yep.
It was like a hardcore rogue, like everything is grid-based. It's like that, and this is like the art style's good. It's good pixel art, nice and detailed, and I was intrigued.
What platform?
It's PC only at the moment, and it's in early access.
Okay.
It's far from perfect, but there's something very, very special about it,
Cool.
It's one of them where you really want to root for it. So I played it, I got a key for it, started playing it, and then funnily enough, today, the reason I didn't do BioShock is because on lunch, I went to play it. First of all, I looked on YouTube to see if anyone else has picked up on this. And there's quite a lot of people. Go on Twitch and there's quite a lot of people playing it. Nice. So it wasn't just me. I'm not been blinded by my love for roguelikes. People are seeing stuff in it, I guess. Unfortunately, though, like when I went to play it today, because the game had updated like overnight or something, the worst thing that can happen when that happens is, this save was made on a build that doesn't work. All my progress has been deleted, so I lost like 6 hours of progress. Fucking annoying. But so general premise of the game is it's like a really hardcore RPG. Really hardcore as in like you get injured and you have to use splints and healing salves and stuff like that. So every fight is like pretty brutal. I guess like half of the marketing that appealed to Kingdom Come Deliverance, the good half, that appeals to this. Like, it's more like gritty, realistic. Every combat scenario matters. You can't just go in there against 3 bandits and lever them all. Like, even at a high level.
I had a funny feeling it would be gritty and realistic and not floaty and very forgiving.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So like, there's some issues with the game. Like, the save system is when you sleep in an inn. So there's no autosave or anything like that, and so
I'm into that.
You have to go back to the inn to save, and I think that's because of a technical issue where they can't make save points work. But it does fold into the game quite well.
That's cool. That reminds me of, like a Fallout New Vegas kind of hardcore thing where you got to sleep or you got to set up your camp or whatever.
Yeah. So unless you get hungry and thirsty. But it's not frustrating. It's not like every 3 minutes you're checking a bar, which is good. So, like, you take on quests, and then you've got, like, an overworld, which is, like, divided into squares, like an old Zelda game or whatever. And, like, I don't know, one of the missions is clear out a bandit camp. So you go and clear out a bandit camp. But when you, if you die and load up the game again, the enemy placement's different. Things are different each time. So that's the roguelike element of it, kind of. You can't play an ultimate hardcore mode that when you die, but that's what it is. It's like certain bits of procedure generated, like loot pools and things like that. But at the moment, like, I was 6 hours in and I just cleared up some quests and bought myself a new bow and I was really excited. It's class-based. It's like a typical, like, old school RPG. You've got, like, strength, charisma, dexterity and stuff. And then you've got skills and skill tree and things like that when you level. Very Divinity Original Sin, actually. It's very similar to how that works. You've got perks, and then you've got, like, attribute points. It's really got something about it that I think would really appeal to a lot of people that like the PC Master Race RPG stuff, the super duper hardcore.
Sounds good.
Yeah. What's
it called again?
Stoneshard. So... generic name, janky, got a long way to go, but I really reckon that, like, this game in a year, it's a bit of a Dead Cells situation. That's what I'm saying. When that came out, there was something special there, but it needed to be really, really, what's the word, like, carbonated.
Finished.
Yeah, but now, like, I think with Stoneshard, there's a story to it as well, and that's what's good. There's a story that pulls you in. You can download the demo for free, which is like the prologue chapter, so it's very complete. You could get like 5 hours out of it easy.
Good stuff.
And I reckon in a year's time,
everyone
will be like, fucking hell, yeah, Stoneshard. You know what I mean?
All right.
I really believe in it.
That's Jake's latest hipster prediction. Sit tight. Let's find out.
See you next year.
Yeah. Liam, what have you been doing, man?
So because it's been quite quiet, I've been delving even more into the backlog.
Oh god, even further than what was it last week? Golden? No, was it no Golden?
007 Legends and Soul Sacrifice Delta on the Vita.
You're gonna like this.
Soul Sacrifice
and GTA San Andreas.
Okay, so deeper than that.
I'll start by saying I finished Soul Sacrifice Delta. Very good game, and I hope Sony bring that back as an IP.
Okay,
because that could be quite good, and it'll definitely get the Monster Hunter people.
Yeah,
okay. Or it should do as well. But I decided to continue my 00 adventures. And I played the Quantum of Solace game on PS3.
All right. Yeah. All right.
And I've heard of this one. That's what I was saying.
This one was actually good,
Okay.
It was made by Treyarch, Call of Duty fame. Plays kind of like Rainbow Six Vegas, but less tactical. So it's a first-person shooter, but you go into cover and it goes third person.
Right.
And it plays a little bit like... So you die very quickly in it. You have to use cover a lot.
Are you on your own in it then, or is it?
Yeah, it's just it runs you through.
Bond.
It runs you through the events of Quantum of Solace, and for some reason, Casino Royale as well.
But it's like Rainbow Six Vegas, because when you say Rainbow Six Vegas, I'm thinking
of tactical squad based.
Yeah. So you just take the tactical element out, really. So there's
the squad based. He means like the cover thing being in third person.
Yeah, so like it's tactical.
And I guess the time to kill and stuff.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
tactical in the sense that you can be killed really quickly. Even on normal, you can be like taken down quite quickly. You just don't have a squad mate to tell. Because you're not being a good spy if you had squad mates.
Yeah. Well, what happened with Sean Bean and Pierce Brosnan?
Well, we don't want to go there.
They fell out, didn't they?
Find out in 00 Legends.
I'm assuming then that means you got some like cool gadgets and shit as well. Like you got some.
There's not actually any gadgets in this one.
So there's no Rainbow Six fucking gadgets in it. There's
no. It was like the most you do is there's a hacking mini game.
Oh.
And you can hack cameras to see like enemy patrols because you can go stealth on some missions if you want.
Right.
But that's about as far as the gadgetry goes.
So there's no bombs shaped like.
Just get over the Rainbow Six thing, will you?
There's no special magnetic C4 discs or stuff like that. It's mainly just shooting people.
That's a disappointment. I won't lie. So what else goes on in this apart from shooting? Then is there any driving in it?
No driving.
It's Treyarch, isn't it? They don't do anything.
They just shoot
Bond game.
It's a very solid first-person shooter.
Yeah.
But that's all you get.
Okay.
So it's got good.
So what's pulling you through this then? Is it you just liking the gunplay, or is it a good story, or is it?
I mean, the story is just Quantum of Solace.
Yeah.
And
So is
a Casino Royale thrown in there.
Okay.
I was wondering if that was it. Are they going to rework the story like the other ones did, but add in
They do a little bit with the Casino Royale missions. They do expand upon them a bit. They add in just mobs and stuff. So in the film, like in Casino Royale, where you see him doing the parkour chase. They have that mission in the game, but every so often you get stopped by the guy's goons who are trying to stop you chasing him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they rework it a bit like that, but other than that, it follows the plot of the films quite strictly.
Okay.
Is Mads Mikkelsen in it?
He is. I don't know if it's him, but they got his likeness.
Yeah.
But they did a pretty good job of his likeness, to be fair.
So you've been enjoying that?
It was for £2.50. It was surprisingly good. I remember £2.50 because I don't know where did I get it from. I think it was Game or something, maybe eBay.
Yeah.
A while ago, but yeah, it was good. It's surprisingly good.
Cool. You played anything else?
I played Assassin's Creed Liberation on the Vita.
On the Vita, and we got double duty on 007 and the Vita.
Yeah.
So this is the one. It's sort of a side quel to Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah.
And it's set in New Orleans.
Okay.
Side quel's good, you know.
It takes place at the same time.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. So it takes place at the same time as Assassin's Creed 3, but set in New Orleans.
This is when Ubisoft decided to release 10 games at once rather than one.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This is the part of when I saw the Assassin's Creed Orchestra. It all got very confusing. Yeah.
But yeah, you play as an assassin called Aveline something. She's French descent.
Yeah.
And it's on the Vita. It's kind of a broken game, to be honest.
Right. Okay.
It's the only Vita game I've ever had crash on me. So I don't know. And the combat, the frame rate, the
so
game,
many problems here. You can't even the combat, the frame rate.
So what it
crashed.
Man. It looks decent on the Vita. It's a full open world like you'd expect from Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Cool.
The problem is, as soon as NPCs turn up, the frame rate tanks on the Vita. And
that's interesting. I wonder why. Is it animation
I think
or AI?
Maybe they were just being a bit too ambitious for the power of the Vita.
So as soon as it's got to think about more than one character.
Yeah, as soon as it's not your character and maybe two people you're fighting on screen, the frame rate dies on it.
Remind me again where the game is set.
New Orleans.
Cool. the very populated city. Full of NPCs. New Orleans.
It's New Orleans. You do a set piece in Mexico, and
that's probably runs great there.
You have a bayou of New Orleans where you do all your assassins training in secret.
So as long as you stay there in the bayou, you're all right.
No, it's bad because it's got water in the bayou, and that tanks the frame rate as well.
It moves, yeah.
I mean, it was an okay enough game. The story is obviously made to be done in bite-sized chunks because of the portable nature of it.
All right.
And so the story doesn't flow very well. The combat is just Assassin's Creed, mash square, occasionally press circle to counter. The old formula of Assassin's Creed before they made it into an RPG.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it got remastered not that long ago on Xbox One and PS4. And I think if you want to play it, play that version. Because as far as I know, they fixed a lot of the bugs. And it actually runs well.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can imagine loads of... Well, I don't know why I can imagine loads of Vita runners, because there isn't any. But I would them just going, no, we better wait. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd only recommend it to absolute die-hard Assassin's Creed fans who must play every game in the franchise. That's about it.
Okay, very nice, Liam. You played anything else, mate? Or just those two classics?
Just more delving into the backlog. Tiny bit of Final Fantasy 14. I'm still trying to catch up on that.
Okay.
I still need to get up to Shadowbringers.
Very nice.
Which is the last expansion.
Yeah, I was going to say that is the last one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all I've played this week.
Behind the times on Final Fantasy 14.
Very, very good. Let's do some emails then. So if you want to send us an email, the address is dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. It's dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. Send us an email there and, we'll read it out and have a chat And this one is this first email is kind of a meta email about emails. So strap in, everyone.
Okay.
This one's from a friend of the channel, Chris, aka Chimpo.
Oh, nice one.
Mm-hmm.
Chimpo says, Dear Special Moves, in the last podcast, Jake mentioned that of all the emails you read, only 2 get read out on the podcast. Mike then commented that you wouldn't want the whole podcast to be reading out emails. While that is true, I think there is definitely an appetite to hear the 3 of you respond to listeners' emails. I listen to the podcast on YouTube, and I definitely watch a separate video that was just responding to the Dear Special Moves mail. Maybe try a couple of mail response videos and see what the numbers are. Love the podcast. Keep up the good work. Regards, Chimpo.
Well, thank you, Chairman Chimpo.
I like the business consultant
look at
vibes.
the numbers.
Yeah, look at the numbers.
Don't care, mate.
We do get a few emails, and you know, it's difficult to please everyone. I like to get a few emails in, but you know, on the other hand, you don't want to just sit there and listen to a Q&A.
Yeah.
Because that's not what the podcast is. The podcast is just a mix of stuff, isn't it? So, I guess we could do that. We could build up a few of them, because some of them do just get lost as well. Like, as in, we'll get the email and I'll think, oh, maybe I'll save that for next week, but then we'll get like another 8-9 emails for the following week, and then
I always wonder, like, if there's an actual good talking point. 2020 hasn't had one yet in terms of gaming. If there was a podcast all about that, let's say, Resident Evil 3 or something.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear and showcase some good and exciting opinions from people about
Resident Evil. Absolutely.
But then I don't know if, because I would like that and I would listen to that if I wasn't me. But, well, I mean, if it wasn't me doing the podcast, but, I mean, would then the people listening to it who don't really care about Resident Evil, and they're only ray of hope is the emails.
Yeah.
Be entombed by the misery of Capcom survival horror.
You want things on topic and stuff, and I don't. There's nothing wrong with us doing specials and stuff every now and then.
You could do a monthly Q&A or something where you just build up
the
inbox and then just do a big bonanza at the end.
Chimpo's watching us live workshopping ideas now, going, yes, it worked.
Yeah.
But if more people are interested in that, then let us know. Otherwise, Chimpo will be on his own, and his opinion will be for naught. But ultimately, it's not, is it? But I mean, I like the idea of that. I remember when Sekiro came out. Fucking hell. Was that last February? It was a year ago almost.
It was, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
March
it was early.
It was
March,
it's a year ago, That's
it's a long time,
yeah.
And I remember when we did a podcast on that, and I was thinking, I wonder what other people think about it, and looking at the comments, and it was all nice.
But it does happen, if you subscribe to any podcast, sometimes you're just not interested in the topic, but you'll listen to it anyway, won't you? I don't know if you follow general sports podcasts that do different sports, and then sometimes they'll just be we're in the camp with this particular team or something like that, and it's an hour about a team you don't care about, but still listen to it. It's just the way it goes, isn't it? So I don't know. I think I would like to listen to more emails, I think, and get them read out and stuff, because people are sending them in, and it's good for us to read, and it's just a different thing to YouTube comments, isn't it? It's people have taken time to.
Mm-hmm. And again, as well, that's something else. We have more audio listeners, ×3 than YouTube watchers. So if you're an audio listener and you're feeling that your voice should be heard, and you send an email and it doesn't get read because we only read 2, maybe it'll be better opportunity for you as an audio listener. But as the Audio Master Race, let us know. And how are you going to do that? Well, send an email, innit?
Yeah. Dear Special Moves,
even if it's just to let us know what you think of this. Not to be read out, but love you. Cheers. Great
podcast content. Here's another email. This one is a little bit longer. It's from Ahmed, who says, he actually says, "Hey gamers." So he's sort of,
good.
He's going into
that. Tip of the gamer.
That's what all emails are going to say from now on, isn't it? Ahmed here again from Michigan. I'm the average working man with a wife and kids to support, and I don't make much. Thing is, our hobby can get a bit expensive, what with various games, consoles, PC parts, and I'm not even counting VR sets. Yeah, well, that's one extravagance you can,
need a mortgage to get VR.
And I'm not even counting the lobster dinner.
How's a guy meant to drink some Chardonnay? You know what I mean? So I am forced to be very conservative with my earnings. I have games on my Steam wish list that I have the urge to play, like Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, but I can't afford it at the moment.
Yeah.
That's a very long email, but I'm going to go into some more of it. Most often, I wait for the big sale events like the summer and winter sales on Steam, where I buy about 5 games in the hopes that they would keep me busy till the next big sale.
Yeah.
This seems to work well for me because I don't buy games on hype. Games like Rage 2 and Anthem, I don't know why they get named. There's a lot of hype for a lot of games, but which I would have bought before release. Fortunately, I don't have the money to spend on hype. But even when games are cheap, we get plenty of DLC. Generally, I'm opposed to pre-ordering games and purchasing DLC. There is only one exception within the last few decades of gaming, and that's Dark Souls 3 and the Season Pass. Yeah. Thing is, I knew exactly what I was getting because I've played and loved all the From Software games since Demon Souls, and I've seen plenty of gameplay before release. Skip forward a little bit. It's just long email. I had all the emails. I just didn't, I just got home from work like 10 minutes before we sat down to record the podcast. Yeah. Oddly enough, there are some that are perfectly content with spending money before, during, and after the release of a game. That makes no sense now. As always, I love you guys. Keep up the great work, Ahmed. Wow. So that's a terribly edited email from me there, but thanks for the email, Ahmed.
Thank you.
Raising the topic of hype and how much you spend on games.
This is going to make it great.
It's just not feasible to just buy everything, is it?
No. It's not. We do get sent keys quite a bit, us. So that's good. That saves us some money and time. There's also
ha.
And then there's
that's good for us. So that saves us money and time. Sorry, Ahmed.
Yeah.
Every man for himself.
Saves us money and time, but not from every developer because of this is where I was going with it. Okay, so there's a lot of money and time, but because a lot of big like companies will look at numbers and stuff when it comes to stuff like this, we don't get sent the big talking point.
So it's actually very hard for us, Ahmed.
For the big. So when those situations come about, like we don't buy every single one, but there's ways you can kind of combat this, isn't it? Like
stealing.
Yeah, no, and it just beg on Twitter. That's what people do for some reason. I don't know. It happens all the fucking time.
But that's not relevant for Ahmed, is it?
Well, wait.
There's a lot of build-up, Jake. Come on.
Fuck, his email was a lot of build-up. Do you know what I mean? I'm talking man to man. What you want to do, mate? Get a game, and if you don't like it, just fucking put it on eBay in a week. Mike does it all the time.
That's my thing,
it probably costs him about £2 for a new game.
Yeah, no, it's genuinely. I've talked about this before on the podcast, and that's what I was going to say. That's my solution to.
And Mike's back is against the wall because he kind of has to get the new games. That's what I was trying to get at. Because Ahmed doesn't have to, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
But like, if you feel responsible, if you're starting a fledgling podcast, you want some tips.
Yeah, no, genuinely for everyone, I think if you aren't bothered about the the collector thing of keeping the games and stuff, and you just want to keep up and you get excited about a new game. I've kind of got like a PayPal thing bankroll in my games, which is based entirely on me selling the game on eBay. Within a few weeks of playing it But that kind of works especially well for me because I'm not entirely fussed about finishing games if I'm not enjoying it and stuff. And it's different. If I'm into a game and I'm really into it, I'll just play it through until I've finished and then sell it. But sometimes I can dip into a game, play it for like 7-8 hours, know that I'm not going to enjoy. I'm not going to enjoy it any more than I already have. So then it gets sold. Keeping that like ball rolling of if you like invested maybe into a few AAA games. So if you bought a £40 game and then another £40 game, but then sold them, you can sort of keep yourself going and just topping it up with like five or £10 here or there. Yeah. He's from Michigan, so quid is totally irrelevant to him. But it's just that's how I deal with it. I think just selling them on, and I think people forget that. And buying digitally, that's the big downside of buying digitally. Because that has no value to you other than you can play it. So it has no resale value. So that's one thing that you really need to be mindful of if you're super into digital games and really like buying and collecting and having, which I do. I buy digital copies of shooters and stuff because I know that I like dip in and out of it, and I've got a lot of digital games on my PS4. But I'm never going to be able to get any money back for that copy of Star Wars Battlefront 2 that I've got, I'm stuck with it forever. Luckily, I like it, but I just can't. I was
going to say you are lucky, but for stuff like, I think what's especially like, I wonder if this is why he's brought up Rage and Anthem specifically. It's because the value that Depreciated 2 so soon.
Absolutely, yeah. No, that's
Like,
right. Yeah.
he would have felt like a schmuck if he fucking bought that for 55 quid, because it was 19 quid a month and a half after.
Yeah.
He
And
would
then
have felt like some kind of jerk.
absolutely
Some kind of goddamn jerk.
I bought
we
Rage.
should have looked up the Michigan slang for jerk.
I bought Rage 2 on launch, and at launch it had a 25% off discount.
Yeah, so it did, yeah.
And you can't predict that stuff, because sometimes it's like Titanfall 2, really good game, right?
Better when you paid 4 quid for it.
Plummeted to 20 quid within 2 weeks of sale
Yeah.
in the UK, and that's £20. It was Black Friday, but it doesn't matter. The game was still 40, 50 quid to buy before it came out and on release,
I had the thing with Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I bought that on release, full price, like $39.99 on Steam or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Less than a month later, it was $19.99.
It was
if you wanted the
8
deluxe,
days after.
Yeah, and if you wanted the season pass with it,
Crazy.
it was like only £5 for the season pass on top of that.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with waiting for games. Because usually you get it cheaper, and often you get a better product at the end of the day because they've had time to patch any bugs out and stuff. And
Yeah.
Well,
I
that
don't think there's anything wrong with waiting.
Sounds more like Ahmed's approach was just to wait and get a load of stuff
exactly.
on sale, and that's the other way of doing it. You can, as far as I'm concerned, that's the only two ways of dealing with it. If you're on a tight budget, well, the main thing is do not worry about shit like VR, and I pick your console. I think pick your platform. Pick the thing that you want to play games on. Just put all your money in that one thing, and you don't have to worry about spreading up. Like console's a lot of money. A PC is a lot of money. But if I know plenty of people who just play games on like the Switch, and they really enjoy it. And there's always some new stuff for them to come out, and they've put all their money in that one thing.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and I was wondering about that because like we're in a weird position where we're on top of everything all the time, and we've got like all the consoles and everything. And I was something like how. Like, for example, I'm playing through like Google Stage's first exclusive game at the moment, and I'm going to talk about that next week, knowing full well hardly anyone that listens to this podcast is going to fuck with what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or relate to it. And sometimes I wonder, like, how relatable. We're on top of everything, but like, who's keeping up? Who's listening alongside us, playing every single game we're playing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so hopefully by listening to us talk about the games, sometimes you can decide to avoid a bit of a fucking car crash, or you might find yourself a fucking 007 Legends. Do you know what I mean? A good tip though, by the way, if you don't know about it, is like on Reddit. There's like a subreddit called Patient Gamers.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much on top of things with like posting like lowest ever deals and stuff like that. So if you like, you want a certified classic like The Witcher 3 or something, it'll tell you the lowest it's ever been and like where to get good shit, and like it's good for playing some prestigious classics and stuff like that though. Yeah.
And to be totally honest, the most I've enjoyed playing games is when I haven't been on the new release. What's out next week? Like I've got to jump. Yeah, it is a treadmill. I've been most happy when I'm like just not worrying about what's coming out next and just enjoying what is already out. And there's games that are really, really really long games, like Red Dead Redemption 2. You could fucking spend months playing that and nothing else, and you probably have to actually finish it. And I think the marketing thing makes you, and if you're in the gaming news cycle and if you're checking Reddit and you follow a lot of people on Twitter and shit, you do probably get that fear of missing out of like, oh, there's this new game coming and you want to be involved in the conversation, but it's probably like the most chilled out way of playing games is to not worry about all that stuff and just play. Imagine playing God of War now
for 4 quid.
Mm-hmm.
For for no money, and
it's like that. Like I played Sleeping Dogs, isn't it? And Titanfall. I never played Titanfall 2 until like.
But it's like an exception for us, isn't it? Because we are so aware of everything that comes out. And
like I know, like this time next month, I will have had what's out. Neo 2 would be here by now, and then we would have Doom coming up, Animal Crossing, like everything, man. Like there's so much on, and I like look forward to it. I lavish in it, but like you have to get into a certain mindset. Yeah. I think I'm just so used to it now that I would feel like really weird if I wasn't playing new games all the time.
But like you were saying earlier, we are in a position where some of this stuff gets sent to us and whatever, so it is a little bit in some ways easier for us to be on that, 100%, that treadmill.
Yeah.
So
very fortunate. Yeah, very fortunate.
One game you mentioned there was Anthem.
Oh, fantastic!
So Anthem is getting the wording is quite strong. So BioWare, the company that made Anthem for EA, the publisher. They are redesigning, reinventing, reimagining all that sort of re stuff. You know, they're not just they're not just doing an update. They are redesign is a pretty strong word to use. So Anthem, when it came out, was it last year?
It was last.
It feels like about
February.
6 years ago.
Yeah. That was last Feb.
Anthem came out last year, and it just a few.
I don't think it did come out, did it?
No, a few of our viewers and patrons enjoyed it and got on with it, but on the whole, it didn't do very well. I don't think, did it? I mean, it just sort of stumbled out of the door and kept falling over until I can't think of an end to this analogy, but it didn't do very well. And the conversation it feels like for a while has been, that's it now. Like, EA are going to pull the plug on it, and that was the way it was. It seemed to be going, but not so, according to BioWare, who've said
so
they're going to do some work on it.
I want to preface this by saying the last time I saw BioWare in the news, me and Liam were talking about this on the way here, was that it was in the news last week, actually. Last week, the 3rd of February, something like that. The Anthem's in-game Christmas decorations were still in the game.
Yeah.
So when you log into the game,
it's trending on Twitter,
and you're walking around this world that no one's really in and playing, you can see these baubles, and it's a bit sad because it's the 3rd of February, and I don't know. What would you say if your neighbours still had their Christmas decorations up? That was not on a personal attack if you've still got yours up or anything. Some people leave the wreath around all year. It's cool, but it's a bit of a shoddy thing. All it would take is one member of staff. Yeah,
I love this. I love the idea that you felt like you had to not to offend anyone who still keeps the Christmas decorations. I don't want to upset anyone.
I don't want to compare you to Anthem.
Yeah.
So anyway, BioWare did a blog post today, and there's some pretty strong wording in here. All right,
yeah.
So they're saying it like, "Baby, we understand. We need to change. Trust me, I can change. Don't leave me."
Yeah.
But then here's the exact sort of sentence or two that kind of made me go, huh. And then other people picked up on it. I said that like I saw it first, but I don't mean it like that, sorry. But I thought, does this mean what I think it means? And then I've since seen other people saying, yeah, shit. So they basically said about Anthem, quote, "It will require a more substantial reinvention than an update or expansion. Over the coming months, we will be focusing on a longer-term redesign of the experience, specifically working to reinvent the core gameplay loop with clear goals, motivating challenges, blah, 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 while preserving the fun of flying, blah, 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 blah. And to do that properly, we'll be doing something like we'd like to have done more the first time round, giving a focused team the time to test and iterate, focusing on gameplay first. In the meantime, we'll be continuing to run this current version of Anthem the way it is until they do the transition." But they are completely reinventing the gameplay loop.
Yeah.
The core gameplay loop, aka the game.
Yeah. No, exactly. I mean, it sounds like it sort of makes a lot of sense, really, because EA have put loads of money into this game that they've, I imagine, have lost money on, right?
Yeah.
And then because it's the kind of thing, it was the kind of game where you'd want to get a load of money out of the gate, but most of the money that you were hoping to get comes later through microtransactions, DLC, post-launch stuff, right? That's how. But none of that is really going to happen because no one's fucking playing it.
Yeah.
So, and in addition to that, it's not a very good look for them to just leave it either, is it? And especially in a climate where like Ubisoft have done a good job with a few of their games, and there are companies out there, like the Final Fantasy MMO and stuff that just sort of.
Yeah, well, I think that's like the most prominent example of any game doing a 180. I suppose No Man's Sky is arguably up there now.
Absolutely.
But certainly at the time, I want to say it was like 2014, maybe.
Something like that, yeah.
So for those that don't know, Final Fantasy 14 came out. It was shit. It was fucking shit. And then they were just like, right, just close your eyes a minute and reopen them when we say. And that's what it was like. They kind of was like, don't look.
Yeah.
Look again. And then they did Final Fantasy 14, A Realm Reborn, because that's the full name of Final Fantasy 14. And if you've never known why, hey, that's why. So then No Man's Sky continued to push its changes. It was additions at first, but like now the game is so far away from the vanilla that if you have a physical disc and you put that in without the internet, you're in for like a fucking ride, So with Anthem, redefining the gameplay loop entirely is something interesting. I think it's
I can't think of many games that have actually had to go to that level of like, let's do the whole fucking thing again. Like, just rip the spine out.
Scale with such a spotlight on it, Final Fantasy and No Man's Sky, and that's what I mean. Like, so and this will be like, it'll be added to these sort of.
Even No Man's Sky, I think, is recognisably the same thing. And it's like, you know, they built on it.
It's still got the same core.
Yeah, they built on it. So if they're saying they need to redesign or reimagine the core gameplay loop.
Yeah.
You know, what does that...
And so to me that shows that, like, they've got faith in, like, the IP. They think it's a cool idea. Yeah. I don't want to sound, like, too fucking horrible, but, like, I don't know enough about this shit to know if it's cool or not. To me, it's incredibly fucking lame. The flying suits and fucking the monster. I don't know if that's a good idea or not.
I think the problem with it is it seems like an idea that's following on from, you know, Destiny, which we've already had.
Yeah,
spacesuits,
Attack on
shooting,
Titan, and this.
But even the idea of having a shooter that's like, you know, even Mass Effect Andromeda, it doesn't look a million miles away from Mass Effect Andromeda, their own fucking game.
Exactly.
So it looks like it's sort of like a natural corporate evolution of things that have already happened.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear, because, like, for me, I was just like, am I just, like, immune to this shit?
Yeah.
And like, everything is just incredibly stupid unless there's a bow and arrow in it and a fucking wizard.
For example, Destiny, right, happens, and then the Division, Ubisoft go, yeah, we're going to do that, but we're going to do it with you know, Tom Clancy cover system, Tom Clancy world, real world military. So it's sort of different enough. Third person, it's like different enough so it feels like at least there's something different.
Yeah. On planet Earth.
On planet Earth, yeah. But then the more you sort of go back to that core idea of like a sci-fi shooter game that's, you know, it's very difficult to
differentiate yourself.
Yeah, and you can say like as much as you want about it being a planet that's you know, it's like found. What was it? Found future or something.
Yeah.
You know, like Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Exactly. There we go again.
Yeah.
Like Horizon Zero Dawn. That other game that already exists. You know, you're so far in the future that it's a prehistoric sort of.
What's that like before Earth or whatever?
After Earth. The Will Smith, Jaden Smith double bill.
But wasn't that before Earth though? Isn't that the whole twist?
I don't know. I didn't catch that particular
spoilers
picture.
there for you. I think that they must have some interest in like this. The anthem is like, so the eponymous anthem is like the anthem of creation, the kind of magic spell that created all life, and they must believe in that IP enough to still be basing something around.
They can work it in.
Yeah, exactly. So.
I don't mind this idea of like sound and that being a. Why not? You know, I don't. You know, you've got Destiny going light, darkness, light, darkness, light, darkness. What else can we do? Sound.
Sick.
Sound, no sound.
Yeah,
it's like, sound, you know, it's. I don't mind that. I don't mind that sort of thing. It's just the whole idea of the game as a live shooter sci-fi thing with, you know, co-op elements and role-playing elements and kitting out your sky. It feels like it's happened. It's already been done. So,
Warframe exists.
Warframe. There's so many other references.
A lot of people call that fashion frame.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's so many other references to this one game. How many have we mentioned just talking about it now? Horizon Zero Dawn, Destiny,
it's true,
Division.
but at the same time, if I hadn't played the game and I was just hearing all these things, and like it's an EA live service game that's a bit like this, a bit like this, a bit like this, I'd be like, all right, well, this is going to work, isn't it? I don't think I'd like it, but I can see why it would work. Yeah. So the problem must be the core gameplay loop. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because people would like that concept, you know. It's not original or cool, but it's to me.
I don't know, you know. I don't know. It's the same as Call of Duty. Like you have like 10 Call of Duties set in modern warfare times, and then they go, hang on a minute, the sales are fucking plummeting, you know. And that's Call of Duty. That's not a new IP. That's a thing that people buy like a religion.
That's true.
People do get tired of stuff.
You know? Yeah, no, for sure. But I just figured because it was third person and a different company making it, that's all some people need. Do you know what I mean? Turns out, I mean, I'm that's not the
I
case.
want it to be good. If it's updated and it's good, I'll definitely play the shit out of it.
I liked what I played of Anthem.
I didn't hate it either. But
It got frustrating whenever you got to the end of a raid mission and the PS4 crashed. And you lost all your progress. It was not fun when it happened 3 times in a row.
Constant loading. The problems that on just a gameplay level were, to me, endless. Like
very unappealing characters and story, I thought, just in general.
If somebody left your game, you didn't invite someone to the game. You're just thrown in a game with another player.
Yeah.
If they leave, the whole menu and everything stores and loads and and never mind problems of scaling. End game was terrible, and you get lots of duplicates. There's just problems after problems. Whether you were a new player, a medium player, an end game player, no one was happy. And it will be really cool if it is a Realm Reborn in No Man's Sky, because you know what, No Man's Sky. Who would have thought that? Now, when there's people moaning about No Man's Sky, Sean Murray lied and all that, everybody seems to be going, "Yep, we know, but shut up." And if and that no one ever would have guessed that No Man's Sky could have turned around that hard. Now everyone's like, "Yeah, it's good."
Yeah.
If EA can do it, BioWare can do it.
Do you know what? I'm very suspicious that they might do. Get some Respawn guys in there.
Yeah.
What's our one fucking good studio at the moment, guys?
Yeah.
Let's
Get them on the phone.
It could work.
I think the BioWare strength is sort of story and traditionally anyway, and that wasn't there for me, and I really didn't. The characters were just bad.
I can't remember the names of anyone.
I don't remember anything about them, just that I didn't like them, and I just
Damning, it
was. Just a vortex of fucking bad news, wasn't it? Really, the game. There's just loads of bad stuff coming out of it, and I'm glad that they're going to try and make it better for the people who did enjoy it immediately afterwards. The people who were saying, "No, hang on a minute, guys, it's actually pretty good." I hope it's great for them.
I'm quite excited that it's turned into a bit of a variety pick now. My copy of Anthem is now going to be a mystery game in 2 years. It's like a Pokemon hatching or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's it going to turn into? If you haven't refunded it, there we go.
And that's good. That's a good thing. And like I was saying, with it's good. It'd be a bad look if they just left it. It's probably good. They can put loads of it down to their fucking marketing money to fund the continuing development of Anthem, because it would be a good, good news story if they turned it around and it was a good. It's good for their image, I think, if they manage to do something with it and make it.
Yeah, they don't want another Andromeda where they completely pulled the plug on that.
Exactly, yeah.
Because that was meant to have a whole DLC campaign, wasn't it? And they just flat out said, nope.
Nah.
Just cut it.
So Andromeda was on a really deep sale, and I was tempted. I didn't
Have you ever played it?
No.
I still need to play Mass Effect 3.
What? Really?
Yeah, I got it on Origin for £5 years ago.
You should do that.
I played
Forget 007.
I was going to say, the amount of time you've put into all James Bond games
now.
Yeah, get rid of him.
Oh, Liam, do that
Just
for
do
me,
the whole
please.
trilogy, man.
Yeah.
I've done 1 and 2. It's just 3 I haven't done.
Have a little run-up,
Do 1, 2, and 3. I'll do it.
You'll have a whale of a time.
Yeah.
Oh, I've already done 1 and 2,
No, I mean,
do it again, though.
Just do it again.
Yeah.
A trilogy again. I'd do it, maybe.
That means no.
Yeah.
I'll play some weird JRPG that I've got on the Game Boy.
Mass Effect 3, fuck. I'm jealous. All right. Let's do new games then before we tie a ribbon on this podcast. New releases starting, what's the day today? 10th, isn't it?
The 10th, Tuesday the 10th.
So on the 11th, which is tomorrow, or today, the day that the podcast comes out, Yakuza 5 is coming out on PS4.
Yep.
What does this mean?
This is the last game of the Yakuza Remastered Collection that came out, I want to say September last year.
Yeah, it was, I think.
And so you bought this entire collection in one go, but they gave you Yakuza 3 first.
Yeah.
Yakuza 4 Remastered came out in November. And then, so this is Yakuza 5 Remastered. It's all part of the same package.
Yeah.
You buy it once, you get all 3 games. They just did a staggered release. So people who bought the collection, go on the PlayStation Store tomorrow morning. It'll be there in your download queue.
You will be among them, I'm assuming?
I will be among them, yes.
Cool. All right.
Does that complete every Yakuza is now on the PlayStation 4 current gen?
I believe so, yeah.
With Kiwami 2, and then you got 3, 4, 5, 6,
0.
7's on the way, and 0, of course.
Yes. And then 7's on the way. So, that'll be the entire Yakuza series, or the mainline games anyway, playable on on the PS4.
That's a lot of kicking people through windows. Men dressed up in
basically
baby.
So
let's pacify this bitch.
Play it, everyone. It's fantastic.
I haven't played one. I haven't played a single one, so I need to fix that. We've also got Daemon X Machina, which is coming out on PC on the 13th.
So I know what this is.
What is it?
So this came out on the Switch last year, and it's a mech shooter, kind of like Armored Core. You ever played any of them?
I'd played was there a demo for it or something?
FromSoft.
I've played it.
It's FromSoft, yeah.
I've played it.
It started on the PS1, I think, the Armored Core series. Still going to this day. I don't think there's been one this gen, but there was 3 or 4 of them last year.
Yeah.
And so this is in the same vein. You have a giant mech, you get to customize it. Very in-depth, some would say obtuse customization.
Yeah.
Just for sheer amount of options you get.
Said that with a little smile on your face there, Liam.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're loving that kind of...
I'm not a novice.
I did play... They did like a timed exclusive Switch demo where they took loads of feedback off people.
Because I feel like I've played this.
There was a demo. I think there was a demo for it now on the Switch.
It was the opener of one of the really big Nintendo Directs that they did. I think
it was the E3 one, wasn't
it? So it is... Because I really feel like I played it, and it's probably the kind of thing I would do where I've seen it on that, and I've gone, oh, that's all right.
So download the demo.
Yeah.
They've done a few demos. The one I played was literally after I finished it, like 10 minutes later, I got an email sent to my email associated with my Nintendo account asking me to fill in this feedback survey. But as far as I know, it got decent reviews when it came out on Switch. It was like a 7 out of 10 type of game.
Okay.
But I know for a lot of people, the big problem was it did not run well on the Switch. It was ran very poorly.
Yeah.
Frame rate was very, very low.
So
visually,
PC...
it wasn't too good. But
you expect a PC to...
Yeah, so this is to come out, and I think I've seen on Twitter, they've already been saying 4K, uncapped frame rate.
Okay. So they're talking that talk. So,
they're appealing to the PC master race for this one who want to flex their 2080 Ti's.
So let's do the 14th, which is the Thursday. Of course, Valentine's Day. Why don't you buy your sweet Valentine Darksiders Genesis, which is coming to Switch, PS4, and Xbox? Jake, tell me about Darksiders Genesis. Mate.
Darksiders Genesis is the 4th Darksiders game, although not the 4th chronologically. It's the first 2-player one. You can play it split screen or online co-op. For Valentine's Day, I suppose.
Yeah, no, it's actually turned out to be quite a romantic pick, hasn't it?
Man. And you play as War, who's the guy from the first one, and the one with the guns. Forgot his name.
Strife.
It's not like Strife, that's it. I'm not working on this game or anything, am I? Strife. You play Strife and War, and you go around. It's a good 2-player game, really. You can play it online co-op if you haven't got any friends.
Yeah.
Or you can play it alone, which is where you can flick between the 2 characters. I played it on PC when it came out.
Solo.
Alone.
No need for
it hadn't come out when I played it. But
the feature wasn't available.
It wasn't. It wasn't. So I played it alone, and it's exactly what you expect from a Darksiders game.
Yeah.
It's got the quippy dialogue, and then it's got the combat that you might get bored of halfway through. You might see it through for the story.
Yeah.
That's it, isn't it?
Okay, cool. Same day as Dreams, which is out on PS4. This seems like it's a long time coming, doesn't it?
Yeah, been talking about it a long time.
Yeah, I've been a beta with this. I was an early access backer of it, which is weird because it was a PS4 early access, which is kind of unusual. Media Molecule, in it, they're Little Big Planet people.
Yeah.
And
seems like they've been working on this for forever. It just
for real. I think so. We've been at conventions as early back as 2017 where it's been
I think I've seen
playable.
2 conventions in a row.
It's been playable for about 2017, and then it's been doing the rounds. It's one of them games where you can kind of make your own thing. There's something, you know what, don't even play it, just go on YouTube and look at what some people have made. It'll bum you out, man. You'll be like, oh, I can't ever do something that good.
I saw a really good one where I saw the PT one, but there was one a few weeks, I want to say last week actually, someone made The Last of Us 2, but looking like a PS1 game.
That is cool.
And it was really cool. And it had the clicker sounds and everything in it. And it was that jittery PS1 style.
Honestly, someone made a full English breakfast, that is hyper realistic. I don't know how the hell they've done it. But PT is unreal in it.
The sheer variety.
clone in it.
The Dark Souls clone.
Yeah.
Well, the full thing.
Not like Dark Souls, but just like a medieval looking game.
Yeah.
But with Souls mechanics.
Okay.
They made it in Dreams.
That's you know, I mean, the sheer variety in what you guys have said there is should, you know, tell you. Well, that's what they wanted, isn't it? They called it Dreams because they wanted it to be really open-ended in terms of what you can actually achieve. And we've played the demo which had a bit the variety was the key there in the sort of 10 games that was on it. They were all completely different experiences.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's obviously something they're really keen to showcase.
It wasn't anchored down as much as like Little Big Planet, where
it's a platformer.
Exactly. Or even like the 3D stuff in Little Big Planet. There was still Sackboy and stuff. A quick little anecdote here for you, but which is nice, and I don't know if there'll be anything like for like, but I used to make music for a job, and when I used to like go and play shows and stuff, which was quite a lot, I used to speak to lots of other people that made electronic music, and like they used to make lots of different types of electronic music, but loads of people my age said that the thing that got them into electronic music was Music 2000 on a PlayStation 1. Because it was like a fully formed sequencer, and you could like Zombie Nation, Darude Sandstorm, you could do the proper thing in there, you know, and so it's funny to think that then, like 10 years on, 15 years on, there was people that said that they got started on that. I wonder if in 15 years' time there will be people who are like very, very talented game designers who said that they started in Dreams and will meet other people and say, because there is capability for that, and it's not anchored to the platform like Little Big Planet. So I don't know how many other things I can say are like that. Minecraft maybe, but you know what I mean. The code inside of it.
No, it's totally. You're totally right, and that's their ambition as well. I've seen a few of their marketing kind of dev diary type shit, and that's the kind of thing that they're saying. They're saying that kind of we want this to be a platform to people to just make anything, all sorts of different stuff, and it almost feels like a no-brainer in the sense that Minecraft has happened. Make anything, this is. It feels like this should have already happened somehow to a certain extent, and. I'm really, there are things like RPG Maker and that sort of stuff where, but this really seems very open-ended. And I've got to say, Jake, that you're sort of wearing the coat of someone who is a successful electronic music producer.
It's all behind me now, isn't it? I was on Radio 1, I'm done.
But you can still wear a big red coat indoors, even though when the heating is blatantly, it's fine temperature-wise.
Conspiracy theorists email it. Do a special move.
You must be sweating in those Ugg boots, mate.
It's been a pleasure, guys. If you're in the UK, make sure that storm don't fuck you up.
It's happened. It was in the past.
It's still happening right now.
No, is it?
Yeah,
it was snowing. It was snowing today, badly snowing.
There's a bit of snow.
Anyway, we'll see you next time. Bye.